So I've got literally everything packed into one Nike backpack, and that is going to sustain me for tonight. Today has been 35 degrees but cloudy at the moment, so I'm hoping it will stay cloudy and it might rain. If the sun comes back out, then it's game over. So I travelled southeast in my car using the oldest, most simple roads possible. I started out on Mount Osmond, then I went to the old freeway, followed Mount Barker Road until I got to the old Princes Highway, which took me all the way through to the gravel roads needed to get to the final destination. But first, some ruins caught my eyes that I just had to stop for. Yeah, so checking out these ruins, firewood can't be collected, fair enough, no vehicles, share the trail, leave no trace of your visit, doesn't say no camping. I wonder to what extent the ruins are intact, because I already know that building on the left is munted. I guess we'll just have to find out. By the way, are you enjoying the point of view vision for this vlog, where you can see my point of view? In fact, it's so handy because I don't have to turn the camera. I can see a building just over there. I just feel it will make it a little bit more immersive and yeah, testing some more stuff out. So, given that this is post office track, I'm assuming that this building is a post office, was a post office. Here it is. So intact. I guess the maintenance guys just use this as a storage area. Oh yeah, it's drafty. The plaster. They just stack the stones. And then the building's that old that all the plaster's just gone. Old fireplace. Cool build. And then these are the roof rafters that you see all throughout here. Look at all this corrugated. Must be ancient. It's still sturdy as. Wonder what this room was. Just your classic old 2-room house. I guess you got your living room and kitchen and then your bedroom in here. This could have been a whole thing too by itself. I see evidence of a wall being here at some point. And a fireplace. Pizza oven. So yeah, this was a pizza chef's place obviously, because they got a whole pizza oven. I headed to the campsite, but things just felt really eerie. From this point on until the next morning, I didn't see any definitive signs of other human life, apart from the occasional airplane flying over. Monado Crown Land. Camping on Crown Land is permitted for up to 3 weeks, I think. So I think the world is my oyster. But my brain did play tricks on me. And every rustle in the night I thought was another person out to get me. Sand. There's no traction here, but hey, it's pretty efficient. All things considered, if I was walking, I would be struggling. So there's the road that we don't want to be near. I'm gonna try and stay off the road. There's a single track for mountain bikes. You're gonna have to walk it. These sandy bits really get you. You can't move at all. We're way off the beaten path now. Should have worn longer sleeves though. It's really giving me the itches when I go past one of these sharp, brittle branches. At this point, I was almost getting lost among the mallee bushland, just trying to find a quiet place where nobody would discover me camping. So I found camp, finally. This is going to be my home for tonight. Right here in this tree. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. I just gotta get this whole thing flat first, I guess. I kind of feel like I'm being watched in a way. But at the same time, no, I'm not. I'm so isolated. Eeriness aside, let's set up this swag so I can at least have some chance of surviving through the night. And I have to admit, it is pretty funny when you're just watching me be frustrated while setting this thing up and figuring it all out. But it wasn't funny in the moment. I don't know if I'm just really stupid or if it's a poorly designed cheap product, but there was literally nothing to hold the canvas up in the middle, so I had to fashion my own out of some extra tent pegs. That's what you Americans call redneck engineering. Really bad tent. I don't know if there was some sort of tab here I was supposed to have, but I can't find it, so clearly I've stuffed up and done something the wrong way. It's so quiet. It is so dead quiet. I can't believe it, honestly. All of that building a tent up is thirsty work. Okay, I might go geocaching. I think it's a good way to spend the evening. Zip up the tent to keep these fucking ants out. Holy crap. They've already come into the tent already. So this is the camp set up here. And 70 meters in this direction should be a geocache. The hint was fallen dead tree. Now, I don't know which one of these matches that description. I found it. Here it is. Geocache. Number one and probably the first and last I do tonight because I don't want to get lost. Logbook. I've not done this since 2014. What's this coin here? 1952 Indonesia 25 sen coin in Arabic. That's so cool. Well, there we go. I've written my name and written camping and written the date and the time in really not neat handwriting. But now it's time to put this all back. But I doubt many people come through here at night, so I think I'm pretty undisturbed here. Tent gives itself away. This little trail, I wonder where this goes. This is my little corner of the woods. Literally the woods, the woodlands. Let's see where this goes as the sun sets before we lose all of our light. Hit my head in some prickly trees. Trail is blocked. Clearly no one's been here for a very long time. I really should have got a camp chair. Sealed the whole thing up so bugs don't get in, but it's so cramped in here. My foot's already starting to sting. Suspect a bug bite or something. 2 days later, while I'm editing this, I realize that I've been bitten by redback spiders. The night tried to scare me off, tried to make me go home. I wasn't scared at all by the fact that there were lions nearby. Even if those lions or tigers escaped, I would feel more comfortable than knowing another person was nearby. From here on out, I think it's time to actually rest. It was a restless night on that hard ground. Just me, the empty and eerie sounds of the night, and my imagination. I couldn't hear any cars, and after the last plane flew over, I knew I was truly on my own. It's 4 AM and this is all of my sweat, just condensation. So I went to let it out. This is the best night sky I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen the stars this clear. It's phenomenal. 5:30 AM. Time to actually wake up. Holy crap, it's so dark. I thought there'd be some sunlight at 5:30. But no, it's just pitch black. How the fuck did my shoes get out there? I don't remember putting my shoes outside. That's so weird. God, last night felt so eerie. Well, I guess still tonight, because the sun It's not come up yet.
A century ago, a small group of farmers in search of new homes set out from Adelaide and crossed the range of hills to the east that separates the rich coastal plains from the inland. For 4 generations, they toiled to make a living from their farms in this place called Monarto.
You know, they had a lot of sheep shearers and whatnot. Britag family cleared a bunch of land, which is now part of the Monarto Safari Park. Yeah, even that building we explored yesterday evening, it could have been a post office, but I also recognise it from a film called Monarto City Development. Although it could just be that all the houses look the same. But those 2-room houses were typical of the rural region. And so that was most likely abandoned in the 1970s. Don Dunstan, I think, he was the state premier, bought up all of the farmland they had, quite a lot of it, the government did, to build a satellite city of Adelaide, Monarto. This is a story I think a lot of people have heard, especially if they've been to the zoo, Monarto Zoo, because it's key to why that exists where it is now. The plans fell through, and suddenly we've got all this land. It was farmland, but then it's just vacant because the government's bought it and done nothing with it.
And I'd like to see progress. I got no more to say. That's what I want.
So the land where I'm standing right now was probably an effort for native revegetation. These could have been planted in the 70s, 80s, 90s. These trees don't grow very quickly because there's low rainfall. It is so nice to finally ditch that torch. Like, I don't need the torch anymore because the sun is finally coming up in the east. Supermarket Croissant is good shit. I just found something that is going to make my life so much easier. Might not look like much, but this is an old clearing. You can see this was an old fire track or road that has just not stood up anymore. If I follow this direction, it goes straight back to the main track, so it will help me out a lot. But no, just leave no trace, no campfires in this area, because it would just destroy it. So yeah, and like Dad always says, on a trip to Bunnings, he's overloaded the car with timber and whatever. He will just do something dodgy like this and he'll go, nah, she'll be right. There's Browns Road. Ooh. Getting so sandy, can't keep moving. Jeez. These tyres are way too narrow for the sand. Now it's just a matter of loading up the car and going for a morning ride. Check out the scenery this morning. It's actually peak. Look, there's a huge rabbit over there. Oh, jumps pretty high. Must be the alpha rabbit. The morning sun was not taken for granted. It was like an absolute gift to me. I'd felt very primal and thought back to thousands of years ago when artificial light wasn't a thing. What was the night like back then? Check it out, Sealed Road. And this is my favourite lookout in South Australia, all the way out there. Yeah, it's just a nice spot to be. I rode here for about 2.5 k's just to link it up to my Strava heat map, because I don't want it to be some isolated island on my Strava heat map. So now that is linked up to my house, like 80 k's in that direction, because I've ridden from my house all the way past here into Murray Bridge before and back on a super long ride twice, on 2 occasions. Nearly 8 o'clock. Time. I'll be gone. Now that I'm back, I've realised I've got a bit of a cold and 2 large spider bites that I suspect are redback spiders, but was it worth it? Yes, absolutely. It was so fun to explore these new woodlands, and I mean, it was only opened in 2016. But if you do decide to go camp there yourself, make sure you leave no trace, pick up all your rubbish, and don't start a campfire. Even if regulations say you're allowed to, it's very dry out there. It could start a massive bushfire, and that's just catastrophic. And it would really be a shame to see such a great facility, such a great park go up in flames. Would I recommend this as a campsite? Neutral. Up to you. Anyway guys, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.